President Trump's immigration crackdown has resulted in more than 8,000 arrests in operations spanning nearly 24 cities in just the first 2 weeks since returning to office. But cooperation between immigration officers and local law enforcement in so-called sanctuary cities has been limited. In tonight's In Depth, CBS's Katie Weiss looks at the tension between federal policy and local priorities.
It's 5:30 in the morning just outside New Orleans. This group of ICE and DEA agents have just pulled over and arrested a man in an operation to detain and deport 3 different immigrants they say are undocumented and who recently were charged with a variety of crimes. ICE says these ops are a top priority.
We're working a lot more on our caseload now.
The New Orleans DEA chief is happy to help. How often would you say you assist?
Every day.
During this operation, ICE agents detained one man charged with rape, as well as another man they say is undocumented who just happened to be in the car.
Laid in the back of the car, covered in a blanket.
ICE calls this type of arrest collateral. That worries 25-year-old Gracie, who asked us to only use her first name for fear of retaliation. Originally from Honduras, she says she's committed no crime since crossing the border 5 years ago. Gracie has received some temporary protections to live and work here while her immigration case is still pending.
What is it that keeps you up at night?
She says she's afraid she'll never see her daughter again. Gracie's 3-year-old daughter is a U.S. citizen. Her 8-year-old is undocumented.
Right now, there are more than 10,000 non-citizens living in New Orleans, and most are undocumented. But a new Louisiana state law now bans the very policies that make New Orleans a sanctuary city, the only one on the Gulf Coast.
Take the worst of the worst off the streets.
New Orleans ICE Deputy Field Officer Brian Acuna says they're targeting criminals.
All the other sheriffs are cooperative except for the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office.
The Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office declined an interview, but the district attorney says the parish only cooperates with ICE in cases of undocumented immigrants accused of violent crimes.
Do you foresee New Orleans staying on that trend of continuing to be a sanctuary city?
I don't think the tolerance level or the way that New Orleanians show love is going to change simply because of a change in administration.
San Diego, California is also resisting federal pressure.
We're not going to help ICE deport you.
Tara Lawson-Reamer with the San Diego County Board of Supervisors recently passed a ban on all county cooperation with ICE.
When you don't have any people to work the fields, you're going to see prices rising the supermarket aisle. They work so many jobs that make our economy function and run.
Gracie cleans New Orleans City Hall. She